And from Guardiola and City to Liverpool, who can go top of the Premier League tomorrow lunchtime if they win at Crystal Palace. A rare opportunity for Jurgen Klopp and his squad to put pressure on their title rivals because of their Europa League commitments this season, so often playing Sundays. Klopp delighted their early season form has erased some of the doubts from their last campaign, but with just 6 points currently separating the top four, Klopp knows there is still plenty to play for.
I don't feel that kind of pressure from other teams. We want to win our game, and Arsenal doesn't need extra pressure. They play Aston Villa, so that's enough job to do. So and yeah, there's nothing. It's just we have a job to do, and that's against Crystal Palace Sunday. I will lie at home on a sofa in the afternoon and watch the other football games, and we'll see what they do. But nobody became champion because he was top of the table at Saturday at 2:15 or whatever on match day 16. That doesn't really help. But we need the points. We need the points, and we want to go for them, and that's what we prepare for. Obviously, it's a bit unusual that City is not top of the table with like 10 points between first and second and these kind of things, but it's that's how it is. Arsenal is doing extremely well. We are doing not too bad. Aston Villa is super strong. Yeah, United, whatever. I'm not following it really, but whatever you hear, nobody's 100% happy. But they are around. Newcastle is there. Tottenham, if they win last night, they are there, and all of that. It's a super. And for sure, I forgot somebody, not on purpose, just because of the amount of teams. I'm not sure if it's a surprise or whatever. We had these a season like last year. I can understand that it put some doubt in people's mind. I understand that, and we knew that we have that kind of pressure to put that right. And I'm happy that we could show the right signs. Nothing happened yet. Obviously, we're just we play much more positive football again. It comes with confidence. Confidence comes with results. And results come with good performances. Good performances come with a good pre-season. So that's it. But so long to go. Nobody knows where this will end up. And all teams are probably only 2 injuries away from a real problem. That's how it is. And this tricky period is coming up now. We're in the middle of it already. So, yeah, a lot of football. A lot of opportunities.
Well, let's get to the Liverpool training ground and Vinny O'Connor. Vinny, good afternoon. The game's coming thick and fast at this time of year. Will that long-term injury to Joel Matip influence whether Liverpool do business in January?
I think there was a hint there from Jurgen Klopp as well, just how difficult the injury situation can be when it gets to this time of year. As you say, Nick, the game's coming thick and fast. Liverpool in the midst of a run where they play weekend, midweek, all the way up until January the 1st. That said, of course, they are in decent form at the moment. The last time they lost in the Premier League was that 2-1 defeat to Spurs on the 30th of September. Since then, they've had 8 Premier League games, winning 5 of them. The points dropped in the draws with Brighton, with Luton and with Manchester City, of course. But it's put them in a position, and we spoke about it before as well, that they can go top at the weekend, putting pressure on Arsenal to respond, of course. Arsenal currently 2 points above Liverpool and putting pressure on those chasing them as well, most notably Aston Villa, who host Arsenal this weekend. So for the most part, Liverpool have been unable to answer the questions that have been asked of them. But you mentioned the injury situation and, of course, that injury to Joel Matip. It looks like he will miss the rest of the season with that ACL rupture that he suffered in the victory over Fulham. Jurgen Klopp saying today that the club will obviously look after him, and there was a hint as well that there could be a new contract for Joel Matip. But the fact is that with Matip out, it leaves Jurgen Klopp with 4 centre-halves. Virgil van Dijk, who Jurgen Klopp described today once again as the best defender in the world. Joe Gomez, of course, Ibrahima Konate, and young Jarell Quansah at the age of 20. And it was only the other week that Jurgen Klopp had me in a headlock at training. But after that, he spoke about Quansah and how he'd played for England under-21s and described him as Virgil 2.0. So it shows you the faith that Jurgen Klopp has in him moving forward. But as I say, the fact that he's got 4 centre-halves and with Matip out until next season potentially, and just looking at Ibrahima Konaté's injury record as well, which is far from flawless, you did wonder whether he would need to dip into the transfer market in January to just strengthen those options at centre-half. He was obviously asked a question today, and this is what the Liverpool manager had to say.
I really don't understand it. Everybody, you fans, everybody talks about it. Oh, we need another player. Well, it costs money. It must be the right player. Which do you tell me a club who wants to sell a top centre half? If you tell me one, not a centre half, so a top centre half, because you have to play for Liverpool. So why should we start that process with that? We have in a moment, since 4 or 5 days, we know that Joel will be out for a long time, which is really bad for us. We have still 4 centre halves. That's absolutely all right. If we would have had the 5th centre half already in beforehand, it's a completely different team dynamic. Then one is not involved. We don't see steps with him and stuff like this. So it was like it was perfect. Is it now perfect? I would say as long as we can go with them 4, yes. If not, then it will be a bit more tricky with the amount of games coming up. But it was never Wonderland where you bring in a world-class centre-half until the other one is fit again or whatever. And as long as other clubs don't put them under the Christmas tree for us and say, take it and use it as long as you need it. I didn't really think about it yet because only 5 days since we have that problem. But I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest.
So we're not expecting a new centre-half in January. We're not expecting Alexis McAllister to be fit for the weekend either. It's not a serious injury, but it's not great news either. The cut he suffered on his knee in the victory over Sheffield United needed stitches, of course, and then forced him off ultimately, and it's left him unable to train so far this week. So again, it looks unlikely that he'll be fit and available to face Crystal Palace. Alisson, on the other hand, could potentially be back. He is training normally, and Jurgen Klopp said that he will speak with Alisson himself. He will speak with the medical staff before deciding whether or not to bring him back.